So today's closing. It's your first home, and you came in from the other side of Florida.
Yes, we did.
And so you were shopping. You told me you were shopping over there. And what was your thing on the phone that you told me?
There was no way, like with our income, we were gonna be able to make that happen. Because even a home like we got here would have been $800,000, double of what we paid here, and just we're closer to bases here, which makes it easier for our transition with me retiring, getting out, and everything. And there's more military, like medical facilities, because when you're close to, we were like an hour from Miami, and that was the closest actual VA hospital. So
plus the traffic getting to Miami.
Yeah, and I also went to school in Boca, so I had to get on 95 every day, which kind of got annoying. And I'm a backwoods kid. I'm not big in the big city life like that, and she's a beach kid, so like
this is a
happy medium for us. And we can hear the chickens outside, and I'm happy. So.
I know, Navarre, welcome, right?
Chickens outside and
beaches over there, and military medical right here, all in one spot.
Yes.
So you guys were in Delray Beach, right?
We were in Deerfield.
Okay.
Right near Delray.
Okay, because I went to high school.
Oh, yeah.
In Delray. So what fears were you guys having about buying a home in today's real estate market?
Well, like we said, the place that we were originally looking was just way too expensive. Like, it's just taking advantage of people, honestly. And just, we were able to find a beautiful home up here, affordable home too.
Something that we wanted, I think we learned during the home buying process too, you'll try to kill your spouse during, because one has one idea of what it should look like and one has another, and trying to find like your happy medium, but having everything that you want in it and not compromising, because you're paying a lot of money and this is a big investment. So it was scary because it's our first time and it's a lot of money, and we just didn't want to make the wrong decision, like end up in a house and then we hated it and we're under contract.
And we also noticed when we were searching the homes with you, that whole process, they were going like
it
really,
was like
really
in
fast.
10 minutes we had like a list of the top 4 and they were gone by the time we went to go look at it.
So that's when we noticed when they were started going really fast, we were like, okay, we actually have
to be aggressive.
Find what we like and make sure we make moves on
and
that.
It made us way more serious about making sure we were pre-approved before like we really got serious about being able to put an offer in our house, because we wanted to know, like, as soon as we found a house we liked, we were ready to go. Like, we could put an offer and there was no stalling or waiting on, oh, well, you're gonna get this or you may not get approved or whatever. We wanted to make sure we knew exactly how much money we had, what we were approved for, what we wanted to put down, our location, everything. So like, we tried to, you sent us a whole list of like our own homework to look at, and schools and money and taxes and flood zones and everything. So we learned a lot with that. So
good. I'm happy, because my process is, and I explain to a lot of folks, is I'm here to help educate you.
We learned a lot. We got schooled.
I want you to be, empowered to make your decision. And I actually have had some clients get upset with me. They want me to handpick the home for them, and I always say, no, this is your home.
It was like the first house that we looked at, and you're like, did you guys look at the flood zones in the schools? And we stalled. We're like, she's gonna ask us, so we should probably really look at it.
What process did you use to select me to represent you? Because you have a choice. There's over 5,300 realtors right here on the Emerald Coast.
You helped out a couple of our friends.
Yeah,
and then we heard good things with that. And so, like, just knowing somebody who understood military, understood, like, we have certain things set in stone. We talk a certain way. We want certain locations, like all that. Like, and you coming from a military background too, you understood how to work with us and understood like what would make us frustrated, what wouldn't, and like where we wanted to be. So the fact it went smoothly with our friends too, that was kind of a green light for us.
Right.
And Google reviews.
Oh, thank you. Let's see. What is it that I did differently that made a difference to you in now becoming a homeowner? Because obviously you worked with another realtor on the other side, so you've worked with several.
You were aggressive and like actually sat down like as many times, I swear, like hundreds of phone calls and texts and everything, but you got down to the root of this is what we need, this is what we want, this is how much, this is how much is going to come to the table. But you also negotiated down for us and got things that we didn't even realize that we needed, asked for. And then you came in like with the builders and you had them on little tiny paint specs. Nope, this like going through, like you made it what we would have done when we couldn't be here. So because we're 9 hours away and we had to trust you in this process. You were our eyes and ears, so that made it a lot.
You were also very personable, like your attitude and your friendliness and openness, and I was very, it was nice for me to have a realtor who wasn't just like, you're gonna buy a house for me and only me, but you also were very friendly and like you taught us everything that we needed to know, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah, awesome. And then
I
let's
didn't know there was
see.
so much to know in the home buying process.
Exactly, which is my next question. How did I handle the home buying process for you?
Wow.
Good, aggressive. You went in on the builder and the real estate agent for this property, or the seller's agent or something, and like you didn't let them kind of like backdoor us. You kept, even like when we brought what we wanted to the table, you pushed further. I'm like, no, this is what you should do for them. Like, they're first time owners, pre-approved, they're ready to go. Like, they're not playing games with you. Like, do the stuff they're asking. Because I mean, still buying a house is a lot of money in general, but we're also putting faith in that builder, because now we can recommend the builder to all of our other military friends that are coming around this area. Because obviously all of us like to stick together when you find your groups, and it becomes your family.
Yeah.
So what was interesting with this one, because we did look at new construction right around the corner, was when we went to put in our offer, we got this home under list.
Yes.
And it appraised very high.
Yeah.
So
Everybody was holding their breath for like 2 weeks, just going back and forth, just waiting.
So today we're actually going to the closing table, where as buyers you're going to be getting equity, $2,500 in equity. You're getting a bulk of your closing costs
All of the
covered.
title was covered.
Closing costs covered, title work covered. What else did we get? So you're getting equity, closing costs, title work covered, and
yeah, all that seller's credit was super nice. Like the negotiation between like you and our lender was phenomenal. Like you guys working hand in hand, it really helped us out and got us
Bringing
the
as
best.
little to the
the
table
best,
as possible,
like,
knowing
deal
this
we
move
could.
just
so we
cost
got
us.
it under list, and we managed to accomplish all of that on brand new construction.
Yeah.
Which you couldn't really do without an aggressive negotiator.
Everything we saved, they paid for the fridge that we have to order.
Oh man, well, you know what? Would you recommend me to anybody?
Yes.
Absolutely.
We already have. There's a lot of people around the area that are coming in, getting orders that we know and stuff like that, and we've shared out. We're like, you want someone who's gonna get the job done and get you what you want? Like, here you go.
Yeah, like she recommended you to people way down south too.
Yeah.
You know, she'll get the best real estate agent. She'll teach you everything and whatever.
Well, and that's what I do too. Like, so I have a network with EXP. So when I go to conferences, I get to work with other agents who are exactly like me, who are just pushing their limits and trying to be better as agents. Agents have gotten a little bit like, all I need to do is stick a sign in the yard, take a phone call. So what I like about EXP is we're constantly trying to figure out how can we make this process easier and simple and streamlined for our clients.
That's important.
Yeah, because I mean, we were overwhelmed. Like, we didn't realize as soon as we would finalists, they were gone, and it was starting to get to be a really tedious process of us just like kind of not like losing hope, but like us finding this was the first house that we looked
We
at.
saw, yeah.
And then this ended up being the one that we came back to after 20 something houses. Like, we were worn out. You're going through and you gave us a checklist and we're looking at ceilings and lights and stuff I've never looked at. It's like in a rental property going, like, yeah, okay, this is what it looks like to take pictures. So when you go to move out, now I own it. So like I want to know it's good to go before I come in here. So yeah, we learned a lot.
I do have to ask because we are in hurricane season, and a lot of people are very nervous about moving to Florida because of hurricane season. And I've sold a house to another military guy across the street that has water access on the water.
Right.
So you're not that far from the water,
No, we're not.
and walking distance to Publix, which is good. And the chicken and eggs across the street.
Yeah.
So are you a little nervous about the hurricane?
For me, I grew up in the backwoods, so like, we didn't have hurricanes, we had tornadoes. I was used to that. I was like, oh, there's no basements here. Makes sense because it floods more often. But like, I think you teaching us about flood zones, the types of roofs, all of that. You know, most of the houses are now coming pre-equipped with like better windows and actual hurricane shutters and things like that. Like, yes, the insurance is more expensive for Florida, and that can kind of scare people. But either way, with like insurance, even on your car, you're paying for like the what if scenario. Like, you're protecting yourself and your family no matter what. Like, this is an investment, and I'm going to protect it with my life. So because this is the biggest purchase I've ever made.
And I remember you saying to your wife, you were like, I'm not renting anymore. Why was it so hard and firm? Because you had even come up and said, well, babe, let's just rent.
I considered it, yeah, just because I wanted to get familiar more with the areas and the neighborhoods and make sure we were making a decision, we were going somewhere that we actually wanted to be. But she was very stern on, no, we're not giving equity to somebody else. We're not paying off their house for them. We want to put money into our own home and pay it off for ourselves.
Started sitting down and like looking at our budget and like we're, you know, next month we've been married a year, all this stuff. Not that like we're on that social timeline or anything, but it was, I want to start investing in us. Like we've been military, we've had to pay stupid money. I guess they pay your rent when you're in the military and things like that. But it's like we never got to choose the paints. We were always dealing with somebody else could literally just walk in the house whenever they to fix stuff. In Germany, like they could just come in, they own the property, but you're paying a stupid amount of money.
They don't call you or knock and tell you before they
They'll
walk
They'll
in.
not, but like they pretty much just show up. So you
Oh.
could have been having a party, you could be sick, anything else. But it's like I want my house, and I want to be planning like my future. Like, you know, potentially down the road we may be having kids or whatever's going on. Even if this house becomes too small, this is still, we can turn this into a rental property. So it's still an investment for us.
Yeah.
So like I think that's what started. We realized, okay, we're not really like losing money. We're investing in us now. And I was like, I like the idea of not losing money anymore. Like I've paid 40 grand a year since I was 18 for rent.
Right.
Like you're thinking about all that added up. Like I could have paid off a house.
Yes. And I think that's what got us as soon as my hubby and I graduated from college. All through college, for 4 years, we paid rent and horrible landlords. And we decided, nope. So as soon as we got out of college, we were super young, bought our first house, and we were able to sell it and walk away with equity.
Yep.
You know, through his whole service in the military over in Salina area.
Yeah.
So same thing. He wanted to rent here when we got, you know, work here, and I said, nope, I'm not wasting my money. We're just gonna buy, and in less than 3 years, we have stupid amount of equity just built up
like
in
this house,
our own home.
I already did like the estimates because you showed us how to do that for Navarre, and like this house is gonna double in 3 years.
I know.
Like double. I sat there looking at it, I was like,
Congratulations,
Thank
you
you.
guys picked a keeper. I'm
Thank
super
you.
excited for your next chapter.